And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. Honestly, I think we can get enough food in from the colonies that... Actually, how much food am I thinking about? I was about to decide, I'm going to raise the food consumption. And maybe not making enough of that. Fisheries are really only producing 133 food? Or are we just having them be super unproductive because there's nowhere place to store food? Yeah, I suppose they maybe are. Only making 300 and something food. So apparently all the fish comes from imports. Fair enough. Whereas most of the meat's being made locally. Because yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to improve health. The answer might be just more libraries. Just do more library sprawl. That would be down here. Sure, grab a library. And then of course that's going to need more housing. That's probably a start. What's on both sides? Yeah, we'll roll with that. And again, that's another like 200 jobs, so we're gonna let another, say, 300 people in. Worth that. In the meantime, let's pop around all the food stalls and get them upgraded to max level. Might need some more food stalls in some areas. Okay, and the same thing with the markets. We're gonna run around those, get those upgraded. Because I realized when I did that expansion in letting more people move in, that more people didn't start moving in pretty quickly. So apparently I need to actually wait for some population growth. Or need to raise the quality of our services. And well, that does one of those two. Yeah, hospitals are on the up and up because we added some more in. Markets we just upgraded, food stalls we just upgraded. Speakers are looking a little weak. Although that's not too bad given the access level, so same thing with stages. Grand Arena needed maintenance last I checked. As that took. Not really. Oh, it's now a cut stone problem over there. Okay. You're making enough cut stone. That's the one with all of it in it, okay. Anyway, stone is looking much better after we got taxes of it coming in. So you've swung up to full productivity. Cool. So a little bit weak here. Although probably the next thing to do is actually do another large one. Maybe actually downsize the existing ones. Help with centralizing. Do you fit in what's left of that hole? Kind of, we have a little bit of overlap between them. We're not going to do that right now. It's sort of musing for the future. Okay, so that should get some cut stone. Should help with you having the cut stone to do maintenance over here. Although the maintenance over here apparently is far enough behind that we might just need another maintenance guy in the area. Another janitor in the area. Oh, and that's technically the... That's the grand funding bit. We want that maintained, obviously, but that's not... Oh, no, that... Yeah, that's... Yeah. So that should be 100% if we had it maintained. Apparently it's not maintained enough. Do I have adequate toilet access? Ah, the new region down here could probably do with a toilet. I suppose insanity is one reason for losing people, yeah. It's one of the reasons to get the asylum system expanded. Yeah. The mission is improving. We're up to 94, going towards 95. Question about the city's growing, but slightly different problem. Net neutral most days. How goes the siege? Siege is over. Okay, so we're looking at a target of 160, although it will quadruple once the devastation goes away. So 600 is not too bad for just the base building. Add humidifier in, and that doubles that again. So we should be able to hit 1.2k here. It's a bit of a small area, so we maybe don't want to over-invest in growing this place. And then army-wise, let's go ahead and recruit... Let's triple the size of the army. Wait until the new ones show up before we start redistributing the armor and weapons. Interesting. So, we still have expectation, or... Oh no, because I have happiness bonuses. So we're actually at the point where we are... Fulfillment is behind expectation. That might be what's kicking in, that's keeping the migration low. Although we're getting something like 20 migration a day. Just asking for too many people to move to the city at once. Improve the speakers or the stage? I think eventually we're going to do both. Yeah, we're looking at like speakers, stage, temples eventually. Run down to extravagant well. And that's mostly for our services. Although I think our accidents rate's pretty high. I think somewhere in here is where I see the accident rate. There. Accident rate, 1,173%. Just have a few accidents. Suppose that would be probably one way to increase the rate the city's growing, it's just decrease the rate that it's dying. Accidents and death are the major contributing factors to... Oh, accidents and insanity are the main contributing factor to the city not growing. Just tell them they have to be safer, that might help. Okay, let's do high entertainment. We'll actually dump the rest of this knowledge into accidents to work safety. Yeah, 5 level. Let's see how 5 levels feel. Let's drop the rate from 11,000%, 1,100% to just short of 4,000 or 400%. So we reduce the accident rate by a third, to a third. So hopefully fewer people die. And that combined with the insane silent coming line will help. Then we'll have more innovation from the library system to start distributing. Do we have what it takes to upgrade the system? We need more furniture. We're making 40 furniture a day, so it's more of being patient. Esteemed colleague. He wants to give a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't currently have the means to fulfill that because you're demanding more money than I have. Here's my wish list. Okay, well, can't fulfill it. Declining costs us nothing. I think this is the big one? Is this you? This is you. I guess the flattery must have worn off or something. There are more emissary points at them trying to raise that. Be it. So, obviously we're saying no to that because we can't. Decent number of gems coming in. Sam's being built. That'll help process more insane people. Gotta get that number down a bit. The existing one... How many is the existing one? 40. So we'll treat another 40 at a time. Actually, looking at the number of deranged, I just need to build more of these. Apparently got 480 insane people running around the town that aren't in treatment. Of course, as I said, that dropped to 460. Apparently, probably 19, 20 people recovered, and that just meant we had more treatment facilities opened, right? So. Yeah, let's just open a second treatment facility. Oh, in this case, a third treatment facility. And then I would like more furniture. So I can do the upgrades to the services that I have in the case of stages. Which, probably the easiest way to do that is go over to the neighbor. Go with the one who maybe is being less happy with us. I'm going to offer to trade them some resources. So let's say I offer 1,000 gems and 1,000 Zithlin ore. In exchange, I'd like, say, 2,000 furniture. And we pay you the difference. So we got 2,000 furniture inbound, and then in a short period of time there should be a requisite outbound going out towards them. And then out on the world map, let's take a quick click through our regions. See if there was a couple that I was in the process of growing we didn't check in on. So this one, for example. Up you go, one size. Because you're a small one, you're probably not worth getting any bigger than that. If I need more sizzling, you are placing a tax for sizzling. No, you got pretty bad moisture, so we're gonna leave you as is. Again, I'm not sure what we'd get from you. You'd be a decent place for stone or clay. Probably end up being clay. Northern border. Upgrade you, max out the garrison. And then the rest goes into expanding the fishery, doing a good fish. Could be expanded. Again. Actually, if I need more wood, this is where we're gonna get wood from, probably. In fact, I might just... No, I've got tons of wood piling around the capital at the moment, so... I might just start shipping the wood. Okay, so they're back to neutral, which isn't great, because they're one of the bigger trading partners. So, when we were doing the Stop Being Evil path line, we were having lots of trouble maintaining the size of the city, given the fact that we basically had to restart the Empire. Because all the Garthimi moved out to be replaced with other people slowly. But we didn't have that problem with maintaining trade relations. So that's sort of the trade-off there. Has the army received its new recruits? It has. Okay, so let's stop time for the moment. I'm going to, in an attempt to free up equipment. See, how much do I have in this city? Okay, I'm going to distribute some of the armor, but the weapons, we're just going to tell them. Weapons, we're going to just tell them to get more from the city. There we go. Although... Well, we'll give the city time for its armor to stack up. But yeah, these guys are now, in theory, other than the receipt of weapons, are ready to go. So go march them down to the next city. You're a perfectly secured city, I suppose. Although you don't really produce anything of particular interest. And you're pretty small. So we're probably not going to make you very big. Yeah, the places along here are moist, but maybe not big enough to get good size modifiers. So, we got more people working in the library, so we should have more innovation, or more knowledge, and we do. The other big one I want right now is architecture. So we can get that title. Improved laboratory. I think I want to expand the laboratories at some point. For no other reason than to do more refining techs. And the work safety is getting reasonably expensive, but hopefully that work safety improvement has helped. Well, it has helped because we've been noticing the population's been increasing. You know, reducing the number of people who die, and increasing the number who are being readjusted is just beneficial to population, functional population growth. Anyway, I think we're gonna get the third one here. We'll give it like a couple days and see if the number's going down or up. I might go for a fourth, just because we just need to process somebody insane. I suppose we're waiting for the spears to be transported. No, apparently I'm not making enough spears. Because we have one little spear maker making spears. Okay. Squeeze one of those in there. And then I'm going to grab what is effectively a carpentry warehouse. And I'm going to restyle it to be a spear warehouse. Yeah, I think our carpentry arrived. Let's do a quick pass on the stages. And then the same on speakers. Okay, and you're not going to carry furniture, you're going to be spears. Oh, I'm not making enough metal. That should be reasonably easy to solve. Okay, you're looking a lot better from a deployed spear standard, so let's go order you to siege the next. Oh, and that one's actually not accessible. So you have to go through his territory, and he's starting to grow again. Yeah, we can wait and siege. Take those 3 fairly easily. And then I suppose as our treaties the peace treaty wears off on people, the neighbors are going to get grumpier and grumpier. Although in some of the cases, like this one, we just buy out the problem. Unite's not going to be viable on EU, but the one province guys being just disappear. And the odd jobbers are increasing. They're still in the negative 30-ishes. We do have growth set to automatically take us up to 5,700, so if you're patient enough, it should go up. Oh, and you just finished. We're going to swap you out to making spears. Oh, and even that's not enough to make enough spears. Fair enough. So that's maybe an argument that we should swap one of the units over to swords in the army. Probably in the middle of a siege is not the best time to be doing that, but we're gonna do that. Yeah, as I said, doing that in the middle of a siege, bad timing. Bad timing. Should have just finished the siege first. Enemy's like, oh, just one of the units doesn't have any weapons. Also should have done that paused, because then I could have at least redistributed the spears to the rest of the units. Because here we go, one unit with no weapons. I don't think it's a concern. We still outnumber them. Oh, and also we are raced with the native weapons. There we go. That's multiple units, 5 deep. And again, most city garrisons are all melee. All melee, all pretty bad equipment. And yeah, the unit with swords hasn't received its swords, but still doesn't mean they don't have any armor. They still have their armor, so. Still not worried about throwing it into the enemy's rear, even unarmed. And yeah, our guys have native weapons because they're insect guys. They got mandibles. And wait for the enemy's morale to break. They have their numbers compromised, their flanks compromised. Some of them are feeling surrounded. Feeling outmatched. Yeah. There goes entire unit evaporating. It's hard to tell in the chaos of battle who is routing, who is holding, but I think, as we can see on the minimap, the red dots are disappearing. The enemy is surrendering in the chaos. There we go. Lost 6 guys because I decided to take the spears off of a unit and reassign them to swords. And with that, we just wait for the region to recover enough before we move on to the next. And that'll give more time for equipment and stuff to arrive at our troops. Yeah, that helps out with spears. And we're still making enough swords. Knowledge, we got enough knowledge, that's looking good. Grab the wells. No, don't grab the wells. Max out the temple and the shrine. Yeah, that'll be expensive, but I think that'll be rewarding as well. That leaves us with 67. I'll hold on that in case I want more work safety. And I suppose the knowledge might still be uptrending. Yeah, it might still be uptrending. Shrines first or go around? Shrines are a bunch of metal at this point. Okay. So I should probably build the Grand Temple. Thinking up here is probably where we want to do it. Probably want to put a janitor next to the Grand Temple if we're going to do that. Okay, Grand Temple design time. I suppose this is another situation where we've been doing Aminion, because it offers bonuses to suppression, I believe, submission. Yeah, here we can be getting bonuses submission. We're not getting them because the temple isn't complete. The other question is, do I want to try to bring in the Aganosh? We haven't brought any of the Haven-based populations did before. We'd have to swap over to Shamalorism. And apparently run even more humidifiers. Okay, humidifiers is maybe not a complete mistake to do, but do I want to do the religion swap? Because now would be the time to do it before we get the bonuses. Raid security. So I wouldn't need the garrison as much. No, I think we're gonna... We'll leave the wondrous new concept of the special races to the next patch. We're gonna build ourselves a massive temple to Aminion. And again, I'm not gonna bother trying to make this a round building. We can do some fancy tricks to round it later. So that's as big as we're gonna get it. We got pathways, reliefs, torches, decorations, and altars. If I'm doing this, the ways in... Well, I might technically be able to walk through the ways in are basically going to be the corners. Pathways are probably walkable, thinking about it. They probably don't provide much decoration. They're probably walkable. Here's the moment of truth. In fact, actually, the building wouldn't be working if it wasn't walkable, so it must be walkable. I'm gonna go for a diamond pattern on the supports here. Yeah, it looks like that'll work. And then as long as we follow the pattern, that should get us all the tiles being adequately supported. Not too much trial and error. So we click along, and this is going to be a expensive building, which is fine because in theory it supports 6K population. In fact, actually, we might want to squeeze... Oh, we're already running up on the space penalty. So, yeah, we're going to accept it, accept 6K. I was to say, oh, because at some point I'm going to want to put like 12K. Do I want to future-proof it? And the answer is no. Because we can't make it any bigger. We're actually got as big as we can make it here. And in fact, it wants more interior space, which I can't realistically provide. I think the reliefs block? No, the reliefs don't block. Okay. They might not be considered walkable. Oh no, they're even considered walkable. Okay. I was treating them last time like they weren't. Put some torches around so it looks nice and well lit. I'm not actually sure. I don't think these count as torches for decoration outside of the temple. And our people don't actually like light, so I'm doing it because it looks nice to me, the person playing the game. Not because it's the meta choice, I think. Oh, got one off. One support pillar's in the wrong spot. Here we go. I don't think it was making actual difference, but it's suddenly very noticeable when I'm putting the pathways down like this. Trying to have some degree of walkability in here. Probably not necessarily meta, but I don't know what the meta for this temple is, and it could be something that actually changes in the next patch anyway. I have not seen exactly what's in the past patch list. suppose if you're building a smaller one, you'd have a better understanding of whether each of the decorations makes sense or not. Which decoration type's the most optimal for space usage. Although, one of the things you're trying to optimize in this building is how much space the building takes up, so the building likes being big. These are all odd spacings, which makes it a little bit weird for putting an even item in them. So we're slowly waiting for that decoration level to come up. Temple. Technically bigger and better. Well, at this point we've decided how big it's being, but putting more stuff in it, in theory, making it better. Just realized that if you click and hold and drag it with the one size one, it just paints it. Which is a little convenient. I'm like, yeah, we'll just make this whole stretch the same thing. As long as I'm going slow enough, it fills the hole in. Getting close. We're up at 91%. 96%. $99? Okay, almost. There we go. So, 3K building to build, so we're not going to be building it particularly fast, because we're waiting on the cutstone. But we produce our own cutstones, so I think that's worth just queuing up and letting it start. Again, more fulfillment should help with more people moving in. Or at least keeping people moving in. We might arguably be at the size where I need to be working more on keeping functional population growth going up by other means. Right, so I need to be mitigating the ways it's decreasing, not necessarily increasing immigration. Yeah, because I think we just sort of cap it at 20 for base immigration. Now it's 20 a day. You can cash up some of it, but what I need to do is I need to solve the insanity problem, which is more insane asylums. Working on that slowly. There goes the city we took over. Probably stable enough that we can move on to the next. What's your resting target? Your target's already 600, and you haven't mostly recovered from the devastation yet, so it's going to go up even more than that. Nice. March to the next city. And you haven't recovered enough to do any real expansion there. See them cross the border. It is going to be a battle at the border. Okay. We'll fight this battle, get to sieging, and we'll put the bar break in for the middle of the stream. Do our guys with swords actually have swords this time? Yes. And this is a garrison, so once again, we probably got them out-equipped, out-trained. Okay. Spear guys, you will form the main battle line. One nice long battle line. And all the sword guys sort of deploy, for the moment, sort of in a rough square on the left. Formation down a little bit, because it looked like they were trying to go around sword side. Receive the enemy's charge, send the swordsmen around the rear, and start breaking units that way. We don't outnumber them by much. There goes the enemy getting the charge. Okay, enemies engaged. Charge! Oh, that's the wrong button, actually. I hit the break formation check button, which is actually the wrong button. Although, that looks to have inspired cowardice in a batch of the enemy's line anyway. Flanks compromised. Numbers. Yep. Guy we do still have encircled down there, and not having a good day of it. Let's pull our swordsman out in preparation for another charge. Oh, as I'm beginning preparations, because I'm feeling surrounded because the swordsmen are coming down behind them, they're just breaking. The act of feeling surrounded was enough to break the army near the end there. Didn't require the swordsman charging. 13 casualties to 723 killed, injured, or inspired to cowardice. Let's just say. How many prisoners did we just take? This is gonna cause submission to tank a little bit, but we'll take them as prisoners. And we're close enough to just take the city. Cool. Again, another almost perfect moisture place, and the area is actually high enough here. So this will be a big city, given we have the government points to support it. Oh, I think this is the spears returning for when we swapped a unit out from spears to swords. So let's pause, make sure these guys... You're on full spear. You're on full spear. You're on full spear. You're on full spear. Got you on swords, just so we can have someone on swords. So make a decent number of swords. And then over time, we can probably increase the amount of plate armor we make, and thus how much armor the 1,000 or so army men have. And here, you're starting to build. And... they're almost done clearing the site. Honestly, actually, we're not that bad as far as the inputs here. Yeah, we're behind on metal. We've got enough furniture, and we're making the cut stone reasonably quickly, so... I think the concern with the cut stone is that we wouldn't be making enough for maintenance. We're making 200 positive, so... Yeah. What I might do is I might actually do a manual trade for metal in the next one. I'll think about it while we're taking the midstream break here. I hope everyone has been enjoying. We are increasing our metal production, so we don't have to import that. We're going to import that because it's going to be faster than waiting to make it ourselves, but we don't need to import that for maintenance. So yeah, the city's coming along. We're making the city bigger. Next title is how big? We're at 6.6 or 6.4. I need to get up to 8K and maintain 100% loyalty and 100% submission. That will provide us with another 16 noble promotions. And I imagine with 16 noble promotions, we might be able to get to the point where we're starting to think about metropolises. Right. We've already got one city that could just happily have a metropolis if we had the imperial size to support it. Right, I need 100,000 people in the empire. We're got about half that. But there's definitely a bunch of places that if we were trying to get them bigger, we could get them bigger. And this is honestly a place where I should probably build the bank hub. Unless there's another resource I want transport. Oh, I could get some more wood from here. We might transport more wood from here if I need more wood. So I'll hold off on that decision. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up for you tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're going to be taking a slightly longer break here because it is time for me to get a new cup of tea. But the run will continue. I see no reason not to continue the run. Technically, I think for YouTube, tomorrow's part will be the day the next major patch goes live, so version 71. So that means when this run ends, whether it be we hit day 70 or patch 71, version 71, or because we are done with the city, it will not be another run until after we have the next major version. I probably will do one. I was going to not do another run. This was going to be the last run for a while. But we with the new patch out, I might try the new patch out. And then Twitch chat saying thank you for all YouTube uploads. Well, thanks for saying thank you, and I hope everyone, regardless whether you're watching this live on Twitch, like Twitch just said, or later on YouTube, are enjoying the runs. We're going to continue to try having uploads for the foreseeable future. But yeah, and then if you're watching this on Twitch, again, don't necessarily need to go away. I'll be back as soon as I get a cup of tea brewed. So until next time, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.